Welcome to Afro Vote YouTube channel. The dream of securing permanent residency in Australia continues to attract skilled professionals from around the world. But in 2026, that journey has become more competitive, more strategic, and far less predictable than before. With each invitation round, anticipation builds as candidates wait in the skill select pool, watching scores rise and opportunities narrow. The reality is simple. Demand is high, but selection is increasingly targeted. The Australian government has restructured its migration approach, tightening eligibility thresholds while focusing on applicants with skills that directly address critical workforce shortages. This means that not only do you need to qualify, you need to stand out. In today's system, higher point scores are becoming the norm. Priority is given to specific occupations and sectors. Timing and strategy now play a crucial role in receiving an invitation. What used to be a straightforward pathway has evolved into a system where preparation, precision, and positioning can determine success or delay. This shift has turned permanent residency invitations into a high-stakes competition, where only the strongest profiles are selected. In 2026, Australia's PR system, particularly the Skilled Independent Visa, subclass 189, operates through invitation rounds managed under the Skill Select platform.
Here's how it works. Candidates first submit an expression of interest, or EOI. From there, they are ranked based on point score, occupation demand, and date of submission. Invitations are then issued only to the highest-ranking applicants. And this is where the reality has changed. While the official minimum requirement still sits at 65 points, that number is no longer competitive in practice. In most cases, competitive scores now range between 80 to 95 plus points. Some high-demand occupations require even higher thresholds. Lower scores rarely receive invitations unless tied to priority sectors. So meeting the minimum eligibility is no longer enough. Success in today's system depends on how well your profile compares against everyone else in the pool, not just whether you qualify. One of the most significant shifts in 2026 is the move to quarterly invitation rounds, replacing the more frequent monthly draws. This change means fewer invitation rounds each year, but larger volumes of invitations per round. For example, in the 2025 to 26 program year, a major round in November 2025 issued roughly 10,000 invitations for the Skilled Independent Visa, subclass 189, alone. That gives you a clear idea of how concentrated these rounds have become under the Skill Select system. But there's a trade-off. With fewer rounds, missing one invitation cycle can delay your chances by several months. Timing your EOI submission becomes far more critical. Competition within each round becomes more intense. At the same time, invitation patterns show a clear shift in strategy. Australia is no longer issuing invitations evenly across all occupations. Instead, the government is prioritizing roles facing genuine skill shortages, targeting sectors critical to the economy, and reducing opportunities for lower demand occupations. What this means for you? This is no longer a passive system where you wait and hope. It's now a targeted selection process where your occupation matters more than ever. Your timing can impact your outcome, and your overall profile must align with national priorities. In short, Australia isn't just selecting qualified applicants anymore.
Another major development in 2026 is the increasing importance of state nomination pathways. Skilled Nominated Visa, subclass 190, Skilled Work Regional Visa, subclass 491. These options are becoming critical alternatives for many applicants, but they are also becoming more competitive. For example, Victoria has already closed some nomination streams early due to overwhelming demand exceeding quotas. Other states are also operating under strict caps and limited allocations. Each state runs its own selection process, with independent criteria, separate invitation rounds, fixed quotas. This means your strategy now has 2 layers: your point score and occupation, your state nomination approach. Choosing the right state can significantly impact your chances. Invitation round timing. One of the biggest challenges is uncertainty. The Department of Home Affairs does not publish exact invitation dates in advance. However, based on current patterns, rounds are expected to occur at intervals across the year, commonly around January, March, April, June, later quarters. What this means in 2026. Some occupations still have relatively accessible pathways. Others require extremely high scores to remain competitive. State nomination is no longer optional. It's strategic. Timing and planning now play a decisive role. The system is no longer just about eligibility. It's about positioning yourself where demand exists and acting at the right time. This unpredictability adds suspense to the process, requiring applicants to keep their profiles updated at all times. Even a small delay in updating documents or improving points can result in missing an entire round. Another important trend shaping Australia PR in 2026 is points inflation. With fewer rounds and increasing global competition, candidates now need to maximize every possible factor: English proficiency, partner skills, work experience, and additional qualifications. Superior English alone can add 20 points, often becoming the deciding factor between selection and rejection. The reality is clear. Average profiles are no longer enough. Only optimized, high-scoring applications stand a real chance. At the same time, broader migration policies are also influencing invitation rounds.
The Australian government is gradually tightening overall migration intake, with a clear goal of reducing net migration in the coming years. This has a direct impact on permanent residency pathways. Fewer available places means stricter selection and increased competition within systems like SkillSelect. Final takeaway. In 2026, Australia's PR invitation rounds reflect a system that is more selective, more strategic, more competitive than ever before. Opportunities still exist, especially for applicants in high-demand occupations, but success now depends on careful planning, strong timing, maximizing every available point. The pathway to permanent residency in Australia is no longer just about meeting eligibility requirements. It's about standing out in a highly competitive global talent pool. For applicants who stay informed, prepare thoroughly, and position themselves strategically, the opportunity is still very much achievable. But for those who rely on outdated strategies or minimal preparation, the process has become significantly more difficult and far less predictable. Keep in mind that the information on our channel is general information only. Remember to like this video, subscribe to AfroVo YouTube channel, and share this video.